and welcome back to the Spider's Web, and let us continue in Deathtrap Dungeon. Andrew Bremner once again has offered the only option in our continuation of this quest. We had the last passage where we ended up at the edge of a pit, my character and the Barbarian, and the three options were: the Barbarian offers to lower you to the bottom with his rope, saying he has a torch which he can light for you both to use. So will we accept the Barbarian's offer for being lowered down? Should we offer to lower him down if he is so eager to investigate the pit? Or should I suggest trying to jump over the pit and seeing how we go? Well, as I said, Andrew Bremner gave the option of just accepting the Barbarian's offer, so we will carry on and I shall allow the Barbarian to lower my character down. You tie the rope around your waist and take hold of the lighted torch given to you by Throm, as your Barbarian ally calls himself. Taking hold of the slack rope, Throm lowers you slowly over the edge of the pit and down into the dark depths below. You can see by the light of the torch that the sides of the pit are extremely smooth. You drop about 20 meters before hitting the bottom of the pit. There you see another tunnel heading north, and you call up to Throm and tell him of your discovery. He calls back saying that he is going to tie the rope around a protruding rock at the edge of the pit and will come down and join you. You hear him climbing down and soon you are together again. Throm retrieves his rope by shaking it off the rock, and you set off north along the new tunnel. On a stone ledge in the tunnel wall you see two dusty leather-bound books. Throm grunts his contempt for the written word, urging you to leave the books and hurry on. Will you open the red leather book, open the black leather book, or continue north along the tunnel? I quite like books, so I'm going to have a look at the black leather book. The book's pages are sealed together, but a small hole has been cut out in the middle of them, just large enough to hold a small corked bottle containing a clear liquid. You show it to Throm, who holds up his hand, indicating that he does not want to come anywhere near him with it. His distrust of things unknown is strongly evident, so will you drink the liquid, rub the liquid into your wounds, open the red book if you have not already done so, or leave the bottle and book and continue north with Throm? I am going to open the red book. So it's passage 52. As you open the book, it begins to disintegrate and the pages turn to dust in your hand. You manage to keep a few fragments and read the handwritten script. The book appears to be about monsters, and from what you can make out, it contains a full description of a monster called the Blood Beast. It is a horrific, bloated creature with tough, spiny skin and facial blisters which burst open to become mock eyes. Evolved to hide the Blood Beast's only weak spot, its real eyes. Blood Beasts usually dwell in pools of fetid slime which give off poisonous gas. The gas is so strong that it can easily knock people unconscious. The Blood Beast, although too bulbous to haul itself out of the slime pool, has a long and vicious tongue which it wraps around its victims before it drags them into its pool. As the victim's flesh starts to decompose in the vile slime, the Blood Beast will feed from it. You tell Throm about the grotesque Blood Beast, but he merely shrugs his shoulders and tells you to get going. If you've not done so already, you may open the black book, or otherwise you must continue north with Throm. So I'm going to continue north with Throm. The tunnel turns sharply to the right, continuing east for as far as you can see. Throm stops and tells you to halt as well. He turns his head slowly from side to side, listening. I hear footsteps coming down the tunnel towards us, he whispers. Draw your sword. You both crouch down to hide in the shadows, and not a minute too soon, for a moment later you see the silhouette of two armed figures approaching you. Throm jumps up and dashes forward, screaming in a loud battle cry. There are two cave trolls in front of you. Throm attacks the first one with his battle axe, and you run to his aid and attack the second cave troll. Okay, so it's a cave troll with a skill of 10 and a stamina of 11. Again, I'm going to use the blue dice for me and the white dice for the monster. So it's just on the rolls. If he beats me twice, I'm dead. I have to really get shape in here with the dice rolls. Okay, he's down 2, so he's down to 9. He's knocked me down 1, so I'm now on 1. I win that one. He's down to 7. I win that one. He's down to 5. I win that one just. He's down to 3. I win that one. He's down to 1. We are both equal now. Whoever wins this one wins the fight. And that will be me. The cave troll is dead. You look to your left and see Throm standing over the cave troll he has slain. Blood is pouring out from a deep cut in his shoulder, but it does not seem to worry him. You search the bodies of the cave trolls but find nothing apart from a bone ring on a leather cord hanging around the neck of one of them. The ring is engraved with a symbol which Throm recognises. He explained that it must have belonged to druids of the north, and that an ancient talisman such as this will increase your powers if your body is able to accept it. Throm will not touch it and advises you to leave it well alone. If you wish to put the ring on, turn to 64, but if you would rather continue east with Throm, turn to 221. This is indeed a quandary. I'm down to 1 stamina. If I lose 1 more point in a battle, then it's game over. I have nothing to heal myself, although it didn't give me another option to use that bottle that I found in the book, so I don't know what that is yet. I think just because I've nothing more to lose, I'm going to put the ring on and try that. As soon as you put the ring on your finger, your whole body starts to shake. Roll 2 dice. If the total is the same or less than your skill score, turn to 115. If the total is greater than your skill score, turn to 190. Let's see what happens, shall we? Okay, so I roll 2 dice, and I've got to get less than or equal 10. I think. And what have I got? 6, 7, 8, 9. Your body continues to vibrate intensely and you feel as though you're about to pass out. But your strength is great and you manage to withstand the tremendous shock to your system. Finally, you calm down and begin to feel the ring's beneficial powers working on you. Add 3 stamina points. You see Throm looking at you anxiously, so you reassure him that you are fully recovered. He strides off east and you follow him eagerly. So I'm now to 4 stamina points, which is good. Well, it's better than 1 as it was. Okay, so let's carry on. The tunnel leads into a damp, high-ceilinged cavern with a rock-strewn floor. Long, dripping, teeth-like stalactites hang down threateningly, their constant dripping creating milky pools on the floor. The tunnel carries on through an archway carved in the shape of a demonic mouth. If you wish to search the chamber, turn to 374. If you would rather head straight for the archway, turn to 60. I'll not find anything if I don't search. Pure and simple. So I'm going to search. So I go to 374. You walk around the cavern but find nothing of interest. Throm calls out behind you saying that he has found a leather pouch under a pile of rocks. Opening the pouch, he laughs out loud as a tiny mouse runs through his fingers and scurries off into a crevice between two boulders. Suddenly you hear the sound of cracking rocks above you and look up to see stalactites breaking off the roof. Throm's booming laugh, which still echoes through the chamber, has made the stalactites vibrate and break off. You yell at Throm to run through the archway as the stalactites start to crash to the floor. Test your luck. If you're lucky, turn to 118. If you are unlucky, turn to 295. Back to the dice tower. Okay, to test my luck, done this before. I roll 2 dice and I have to get less than or equal to my luck score, which is 11. I think I've passed my luck. Despite the stalactites crashing all around, you manage to dash through the archway without injury. You look round and see Throm thundering towards you, one arm over his head for protection. He dashes into the tunnel and leans against the cold wall, panting heavily. He apologises for starting the rockfall and offers you his hand to shake. You tell Throm that maybe he should use sign language in future, even for laughing. You both smile and head east once more. Turn to 60. The tunnel ends at a large oak door. Throm wastes no time in testing the handle and is somewhat surprised to find the door is unlocked. He pushes it open and walks into a torchlit chamber. Sitting alone on an ornate chair is a dwarf, who bids you enter the chamber. As you do so, the oak door swings shut behind you. Adventurers, you have done well to get this far, says the dwarf in a deep voice. However, as you both know, there can only be one winner in the Trial of Champions. As Trial Master, it is my duty to Baron Succumbit to let only the most able continue. Therefore, I must devise a test of wits and strength to eliminate one of you. Please do not attempt to dispose of me, it will be utterly pointless, for, as you can see, there is no obvious way out of this chamber and only I know where the hidden exit lies. Now, if you would care to decide between you who will go first, I shall make the necessary preparations. You look at Throm, suddenly angry that your effective partnership might come to an end. He leans over and whispers in your ear that you should try to kill the dwarf and worry about the exit later. If you wish to join Throm in attacking the dwarf, turn to 179, and if you'd rather persuade Throm to go through with the dwarf's test, turn to 365. Well, as the dwarf says, there's no obvious way out of the chamber, but we just got through a door. I mean, I would like to carry on going around with Throm, but as it says, there's only one winner, so let's go to 365. You tell Throm that there is no point in killing the dwarf, as you will never find your way out of the chamber alone. You argue that an opportunity of tricking the dwarf might arise later, once you've found the exit from the chamber, so you intend to go through with the dwarf's test. You tell the dwarf that you're ready and he beckons you to follow him, telling Throm to wait for his return. The second door opens in the chamber wall and you follow the dwarf into a small circular room. He closes the door behind you and hands you 2 bone dice, telling you to throw them onto the floor. You roll a 6 and a 2, a total of 8. The dwarf asks you to roll them again, but this time you must predict whether the total will be the same as, or less, or more than 8. If you wish to guess that it will be the same, turn to 290. If you wish to guess that it will total less than 8, turn to 191. Or if you wish to guess that it will total more than 8, turn to 84. I would say less than 8. The way I'm rolling, no matter what I say, it's going to be wrong. I'm just going to go to 191 to say it's going to be less than 8. Okay, so as I thought, I roll 2 dice and follow the instructions a little later. Back to the dice tower. Okay, so I roll 2 dice. Let's see what I can do. Okay, 2 and a 1. Okay, so I roll 2 dice. The total is less than 8, so I turn to 1, 5, 2. The dwarf congratulates you for guessing correctly. He tells you that you must now progress to the second stage of the test. He reaches for a wicker basket and tells you that a snake is held within it. He tips up the basket and the snake drops onto the floor. It's a cobra and it rears up in the air, ready to strike. The dwarf tells you that he wishes to test your reactions. Bare-handed, you must grasp the cobra below its head, avoiding its deadly fangs. You must crouch down on the floor, tensing yourself for the moment to seize it. Roll 2 dice. If the total is the same as or less than your skill, turn to 55. If the total is greater than your skill, turn to 202. Let's get back to the dice tower. Okay, so the idea is that I roll less than my skill. My skill is 10, so let's see how I roll. My skill is 10. The dice I've rolled equals to 10. Let's see what happens when we go back to the passage. So I roll the same as, so I turn to passage number 55. With lightning speed you thrust your hand out and grip the cobra just below its open mouth. You lift it up and, arm outstretched, dangle it in front of the dwarf. He doesn't flinch but says in his calm, expressionless way, "Please put the cobra back in the basket and prepare for the final part of the test. Follow me." You do what he says and follow him back into the chamber where Throm is pacing up and down, obviously ill at ease. You wave to him while the dwarf opens a second secret door and tells you to walk on through and wait for him. Again you comply and you find yourself in another circular room, although this one resembles a small arena. The floor is covered with sand and a small balcony runs around the arena wall. Opposite the secret door by which you entered is an ominous looking wooden door. Suddenly you hear a shout and you look up to see the smiling dwarf standing on the balcony. He throws 2 pieces of paper down to you. On one of them the words "No crop is" are written, and the other "Ruin Moat." In his ever calm voice he says, "If you rearrange the letters of the words you will find the names of 2 creatures. You may choose which one to fight in my arena of death. If you can identify the creature by rearranging the letters "No crop is", turn to 143. If you can identify the creature by rearranging the letters "Ruin Moat", turn to 40. If you cannot identify either of the creatures, turn to 347. So we have the letters NOCROPIS on one, and on the other note the letters RUINMOAT. I'm not 100% sure of what they are. Just look at them. It's going to take a little time to work out. In fact, no, it isn't. I've sussed out the first one. No crop is. I know what that one is. That is not one that's pleasant. The other one I cannot see. The other one I really cannot see at all. Oh dear. Just got that one as well. It's okay. One is bad, the other is bad, and the third I've got a funny feeling if I can't identify both of, if I can't identify either, I'm going to have to face both of them. I'm going to have to go with no croppies because that to me seems like the lesser of the two, and it's Scorpion. So I'm going to go to 1, 4, 3 because I know that I've got an idea that the Ruin Moat is a Minotaur. So I'll go with the Scorpion, 1, 4, 3. You call out to the Dwarf, telling him to send in the Scorpion because you're ready to fight. Slowly the wooden door rises and a huge, grotesque, black scorpion squeezes underneath it and enters the room. You draw your sword in readiness and prepare to fight the sinister creature with its huge pincers and deadly sting. The giant scorpion has a skill of 10 and a stamina of 10. Let's see how we go. The scorpion attacks you with both pincers and you must treat each pincer as a separate creature, as though you were fighting two creatures. Both pincers have a skill of 10 and will attack you separately in each attack round, but you must choose which of the two you will fight, just like we had to do with the goblins. Now we also have another thing here, where if during any of the attack rounds, the scorpion's attack strength totals 22. Have to turn to a certain passage, so we're equal on skill, so all they have to do is roll the dice, and it's the comparison on the dice. So I'm going to be fighting the left pincer, try and get that one down, and then I'll move on to the right pincer when the left one is destroyed, but obviously I have to use the attack for both. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I win that one. So that's down to 8. And now for the right pincer defensive. 3 and 3, I can't see. Okay, that's caused a wound. So I'm down to 2. The left pincer again. The scorpion manages to hold you in its pincers long enough to flick its segmented tail forward over its head and sting you with its poisonous barb. The effect is fatal and you slump to the ground in the arena of death, wondering whether Throm will win.